All right. Hi, everybody. Let's see, do we have people in the chat?
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
What are you guys reading tonight?
Do you want to do introductions first, just in case we have new people? So my name is Jessica. My channel is Lady Lovestead Reads. I read a lot of different things, mostly literary fiction, classics, fantasy, thriller, horror, cozy mystery, romance, and middle grade. I've determined that those are my genres.
It'd probably be easier to say what you didn't read because you read so much.
Yeah, true.
Like, what is it? What does that not include? Westerns?
Westerns, yeah. Yeah,
is
that's
that
about it.
What is that to say?
Yeah. Tiffany, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Tiffany. I'm from the Beach Bum Bookworm. I read cozy mysteries and romance books. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Jessica.
Yeah. Johara?
I'm Johara. I'm from Secret Books. I read mostly fantasy, and then I talk a lot about Seekers, which is why I named my channel Secret Books, because I'm obsessed with that series. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So we've got Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Glad to see you in the chat. Hey,
Hi.
Sophia.
It's good to see you, Sophia.
Hi.
Carol.
Hello.
Hey, Dream Garden. So what is everyone reading today?
I'm still on the first book of Shadow and Bone.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get revved up to read again because I was in a small slump for about a week or so. But I'm feeling all excited to read again, so yay. I'm gonna try to get a chunk of this book read.
Nice. Yeah, and then Johara and I are gonna buddy read the Six of Crows when she's done with Shadow and Bone. So cool. What are you reading, Tiffany?
I'm reading cozy mystery. I'm reading Bury the Hatchet. Berry spelled like a strawberry. Bury the Hatchet. It's a Cranberry Cove series by Peg Cochran. She works at a cranberry farm, which is very cool. It's a lot of fun. And then the romance book I'm reading, I think is called Fallout. It's in a motorcycle club series, and I'm like 10 minutes from finishing it. So I'm starting something else.
Sophia's reading The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. Never heard of it.
I haven't either. Cheryl. That's one of my favorite series of all time.
Casey. What is this one? Sounds like you know what it is.
It's one of my favorite series of all time, like top 5. It's called the Southern Sewing Circle series. And it's so much fun. It's by, Elizabeth Lynn Casey.
Cool.
There's also Laura Bradford. So she's one of the ladies I interviewed a few months ago. I really, really enjoy her books.
Nice. For some reason in my head, I was like, Elizabeth Smart. Is that the Elizabeth Smart story? This is like taken in. I'm like, kidnapping. Like,
yeah. Makes sense.
Sleepover Friends. 3 left. That's pretty good because there's like 38, 40 books in that series.
Yeah, she's wild.
Yeah. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
So I am reading The Keepsake by Tess Gerritsen. It is book 7 in the Rizzoli and Isles series, which is like a thriller mystery. There's a TV show based on it. The books are way better.
I heard you talking about her because you were saying she's like an auto buy for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I don't think that you would like it because it does get really dark and gory. But it's so good because Tess Gerritsen, the author, was actually a doctor. So she
Oh.
worked as a doctor, and her main character is a medical examiner, like forensic pathologist. And so all of the medical details in here are super accurate, and that just like makes it so, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Sense and Sensibility or A Batter of Life and Death.
By Jen McKinley, I know what I would pick, but it's your read. Just saying.
The Rizzoli and Isles books are so different. Yeah, they are. I watched an interview with Tess Gerritsen, and she was talking about this show, and she said that she was kind of shocked by some of the decisions that they made. Like they made one of the characters like this really, really beautiful actress plays her, but in the book she's like not pretty. So like, yeah, it's interesting how they decide to change things.
It's really, really strange.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they change stuff so much that I'm like, why would you even pay the money to buy the rights?
Right.
I mean, have you
think
guys ever read?
Maybe it's just a legal thing. Like they just legally have to buy the rights.
Have you guys ever read My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult? Well, without giving anything away, they changed it so much that they didn't need, I mean, like who dies changes. That's how much they changed it.
Oh,
wow.
And they changed it for the worse. Like the way that it was written was brilliant. Like it was not expected. It was out of the blue. It was brilliant. And they changed it, to be the obvious. I don't know. It was very weird. And a few years later, I went to a book signing with Jodi Picoult, and she did like a lecture, and she did a question and answer period. And she's like, okay, I'm ready to answer questions. And like half the auditorium's hands went up, and she's like, I just want to say this before I answer any questions or call anybody. If you're going to ask me about My Sister's Keeper, this is what I'm going to tell you. It's like adoption. Once you sign over your rights, you don't get to follow and make decisions anymore. And like half the hands went down. It was so it's like
oh, that's so funny.
I'm like, I don't understand why you'd even pay the amount of money you did. Just call it something else. It wasn't even the same thing anymore.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen the movie, but I haven't read the book. So now I'm really
the movie's terrible.
Yeah, that's why everyone hates the Percy Jackson movies. I finally read the books, and I'm finally going to read them because I never did read them. But everyone hates the movies because apparently they're like nothing like the books.
Huh. Interesting.
Bizarre.
That's why they canceled the movies. There's like 5 in Percy Jackson, and they only ended up making 2 movies because nobody liked them, so they just stopped making the rest.
Wow.
That's so interesting.
That is interesting.
But they're gonna make a new Percy Jackson TV show on Hulu, or not Hulu, Disney Plus, and apparently Rick Riordan's gonna be there to like make sure they don't mess it up again.
That'll be good. Hey, Storm.
Hi, Storm.
Lee says, I agree. Percy Jackson could have been so great. Oh, that's a bummer. I think I've only seen the first Percy Jackson movie, and I've only read the first book. And I thought, like, in the first one, they kind of had similar elements, but the book was, like, a better pace. Like, the movie was just like, boom, 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 done. Nancy reading Cozy Corgi #1, Cruel Candy, Ice Under, Maine Clam Bake #5, and the Darcys and the Bingleys. Oh, those all sound really good.
Quite the variety there. And you're still reading Les Mis, right? Wow. Quite the variety.
These movies were so different. The Lawnmower Man was supposed to be a movie based on Stephen King's story, but it was so different he made the people take his name out of the mix. Wow.
I've never even heard of The Lawnmower Man, but
and you know, Stephen King he's got so much clout and so much, like, I don't know, power, I guess, in the industry. He's probably one of the few writers who could do that. like I'm sure other writers who aren't as big as him couldn't even like get away with saying, "Take me out of there," you know.
True.
Love Jodi Picoult, but she does deal with controversial subjects.
Yeah, she actually said that. Like somebody asked her and like, how do you get the topics for your books? And she's like, I watch the news and I pick the topic that I think would piss off the most people and I write a book on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
She said it a little more gracefully, but that's basically what she said. And I was like, I respect that.
Yeah.
Have you guys read anything by her?
No, I haven't.
Oh, she's a phenomenal writer. And she does write very controversial subjects. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to add her to my list of thousands of other books to read.
When you decide to read her, let me know, because I'll give you, not that my opinion's the be all end all, but there's some that are really, really like phenomenally great, and there's some that are just as bad. So, yeah.
What's your favorite Jodi Picoult?
Probably My Sister's Keeper, but I also really liked, there's one called Perfect Match that I really liked, and I really liked Salem Falls. There's several. I enjoy her overall. Keeping Faith is very good. It's about a girl that starts experiencing stigmata, and she starts spouting like Bible verses, and she's never been to church, and her parents are in a divorce, and dad it thinks that mom's trying to it was very, very, very good. She's just a very interesting writer. Her topics are just something you normally wouldn't think of. Really good. Wow.
The Grapes of Wrath is a really long one too.
Oh, Nancy, don't do it. She must remember my meltdown about the Grapes of Wrath. I wouldn't do, but I wish you well. Whew.
So my dogs are going crazy because my boyfriend's home, so we'll just have to excuse them. Do we want to do a sprint at 15?
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll go to 45.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Johara, how is your writing going?
Good. Haven't made too much progress. Since I am changing my book covers, I was kind of going through the other two books because I haven't read them in a little bit. Give myself a little refresher.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
The new covers are very cool.
They are. They're awesome.
I realized I haven't actually shown them on my YouTube channel yet, so I'm going to do that this weekend.
Oh, yeah. They are very
what they look like.
Cool. Storm's going to read Oliver Twist.
Nice.
Charles Dickens. I like Charles Dickens, actually. He's one of my favorite classic writers. 426 pages. Okay, I guess that's not as bad as I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good outlook. It is a piece of cake after that one.
Of Mice and Men. Yeah, I remember Of Mice and Men as well.
Everyone always says they like read all these classics in English class in high school, like Of Mice and Men and stuff like that. I never did. Like, I don't know. Everyone read stuff like that, but I never did.
I had to read a lot of them. I never had to read of Mice and Men, but I read it in college. But when I started doing counseling at the rehab center, I'll never forget this. This girl came in, she's like 15 or 16, and they weren't allowed to have like band t-shirts or pretty much anything like that. Band, music, rock, Marilyn Monroe, just any like celebrity type of stuff. and she had a shirt on that said Of Mice and Men. And I was like, I love that book. And so I gave it to her, like in her like inventory. I wrote it down and gave it to her. And like one of the other counselors was like, dude, why'd you give her that? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's a great book. And they're like, that's a band. I was like, I didn't know. So I had to go take it from her. I'll never forget that because she's like, oh, I just thought you slipped it to me. I was like, no. I didn't know. I was just like, hey, she likes good stuff.
Yeah, she's got great taste.
Like, I want to promote reading.
Always.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so let's go ahead and sprint. And we'll come back at 45, or not 45. Yeah, 45.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Hello.
Hello.
How was everybody's sprint?
Good.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Mine was really good. I finished the romance book that I only had about 10 minutes left in. So now I'm trying to find
Yay.
where I'm going to go from here. I'm trying to find some new romances, but new romance authors. But here's what I've learned about myself this week.
Uh-oh.
If you designate yourself a romance author, there needs to be romance in your book. I'm just saying. And it really needs to be the focus. I want some other plot line, don't get me wrong, but that's why I'm reading you, because you're a romance author. Like, yeah. Otherwise, I'm just annoyed. And here's the other thing, the second thing I learned about myself. So that I don't like that. Like, I started reading this book. I eventually DNF'd it. It had an interesting premise. It was like a romance book, but then like she thought her brother was part of the secret society and he tried to kill himself, but then it wasn't really like a suicide attempt. It was like maybe somebody was after him and all this stuff, but there was absolutely no romance. Now, it was a very interesting book, but that's not why I went and that's not why I picked it up. Like, that's not a book I would pick up, And so I'm just like, it needs to at least be somewhat of a focus if it's designated a romance book. Now, if it's designated a mystery with romance in it, that's perfect. I get it. Okay. The other thing is, I love series, but I want each series to be its own book. I don't want to read 8 books to find out if Jessica gets her happily ever after. I'm like, I'm done. I don't care at this point. I need it to be one book. They figured it out or they didn't. Whatever. Well, no, they had to figure it out for romance, but I don't want to read 2 or 3 books. Just nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What's the name of that book you were talking about with the secret society? And that's like something I would actually love.
Yeah, no, it has a very interesting premise. It is called Half Truths, and it's called Half Truths, and it's by Claire Contreras.
Got it. Oh, it's on Kindle Unlimited too.
Let me know how it turns out. I hope everybody's okay. And it was well written. There was nothing. When you expect one thing, like I said, if it would have been if it would have been categorized right, it wouldn't annoy me. It's when it's wrong that I'm like,
yeah,
you're trying to fool me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I get that. How's Shadow and Bone going?
Good. It's really interesting. They got attacked, and that's always fun.
Is this where they're going through the fold for the first time?
No, I already saw that when they found out she was a Grisha. They were like on their way to wherever they were taking her, and they got attacked. Someone was trying to kill her.
Yeah. That's a common theme in that book.
Well, it's always fun to read.
Storm says Half Truth looks interesting. Yeah, it does look really cool. It's a dark academia romance series. That's right up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, and I think it's another one where the story builds, but I just want one book. And like I said, if that could have all still happened, if the focus would have been on the romance because it's designated a romance book, that could have all been, but I was probably at 40% and they still hated each other. And I'm like,
no.
where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we going? Very well written and all that, but anyways, so that's good to know about myself, because now when I look for romances, I can make sure that they're kind of like standalone, even if they're part of a series or standalone book. And yeah,
it's always good to know your preferences, because then you'll know what books to look for. You won't be disappointed. Sophia, you were reading The Rosie Project. I don't know anything about that book. What is The Rosie Project about?
Yeah, I've never heard of that either. I think maybe
I'm gonna look it up on Goodreads.
Disappeared. Awesome, Sophia. That's great. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Sounds like it's a really good book. On
The
Siege
Rosie.
and Storm. Siege and Storm, I think, was my least favorite of the trilogy Storm. So if you can make it through Siege and Storm, yeah. But I really liked the third one a lot.
What series is that?
Shadow and Bone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I didn't recognize that's the author's name. As much as I hear about that series, I actually, in my head, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be by like the only fantasy writer's name that I know, which is Sarah J. Maas. So I just inferred that it was by that person, to be honest with you. Not gonna lie. It's the only one I've ever even heard.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of, I know a lot of the big fantasy authors like Sarah J. Maas, Cassandra Clare, stuff like
Brandon
that.
Sanderson.
Huh?
Brandon Sanderson is another big one.
I haven't actually read any of their books yet. I've considered it, but if I do, it'll be after I read some of my more anticipated books on my TBR. But I don't know. Most of these series I own is like I only own one from the author, not including Aaron Hunter, because I have an entire bookshelf dedicated to them because I like a lot of their books. But with everything else, it's like I only have one book from every author, and it's like, so I don't really even know authors that well.
That's what I'm saying. I've heard a lot of the books and the series because I go between a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people who read fantasy. So I've heard the series name. Like I've heard Shadow and Bone 1,000 million times.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the author. And then when I saw the author, it did not even click to me that that's, what it was. Although I have heard the name that you mentioned, Jessica, because I heard like some controversy around his name, so I have heard of that person. But
interesting. Yeah, Brandon Sanderson. He writes a lot of like high fantasy, so not young adult fantasy. His stuff is like the stuff that's in a whole nother world and it's super complex, kind of like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really read a lot of his. I read his Mistborn trilogy and it was pretty good, but I don't know. I get really fatigued reading those high fantasies with like the epic battles, and it's not totally my jam.
Oh, I love those.
It would be a lot. I feel like it'd be a lot to keep track of when it's a
It is.
whole, new world, and because even like the laws and everything, it would just be a lot to keep track of. I feel like.
Yeah, you have to really be invested in it.
I mean, my series is technically a whole other world, so I think it'll be considered high fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is it really called high fantasy? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
And then,
so high fantasy is when it's like an entirely different world, an entirely different societal system. And then urban fantasy is when there are like magical things happening in our world. So like if there was just randomly mermaids in Chicago, like that would be urban fantasy.
So then what is magic realism?
So magical realism, people get that confused with urban fantasy a lot. Magical realism is a literary term when it's a strategy that writers can use that creates a sense of the magical in a book, like a sense of, walking the fine line between what is real and what is potentially across the veil, but it doesn't actually have fantasy characters in it. Like it's set in the real world, but maybe there's like themes of like fate or destiny or someone just seeming super ethereal, but nobody actually has magic.
Interesting. I
There's
did not
also
know
low
that.
fantasy.
What'd you say, Johara?
There's also low fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like where it's like it's in the real world, but there's like a section that's mythical, kind of like Harry Potter. There's Muggles and their world, which is kind of like our world, and there's Hogwarts, which is like a section in the real world that's just magical.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Low fantasy. So interesting.
It is interesting.
Well, for me, I'll read just about anything that's like magical. If there's like magic and fantasy, magical creatures, battles, I love all that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting because I don't know anything about it, like any of that stuff. So it's really interesting to hear all the differences. Because I got to tell you, the first time I heard the term space opera, I did not have it right in my head. I was like, dude, there are people singing like you in space. Is that like, I had to ask my husband, I was like, is that really, because he's kind of into sci-fi. And I'm like, I shouldn't say kind of, he is into sci-fi. And I'm like, that's not what I think it is. Is it like, I never, because when you don't read it, you don't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so it's not actually opera singers like singing in space. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that's a genre I don't really read. I have to add that to Westerns. I only read it every now and again. Sci-fi. I don't know much about it. We need Robin here to tell us more about different levels of sci-fi.
Totally. I'm pretty sure her current book is a space opera.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
For a long period of time, I don't know if because I don't read either of them, I don't know if I knew really the difference between sci-fi and fantasy in terms of I didn't really consider it a different, like, because I don't really read anything that's either. So I'm just like, oh, yeah. There's the separation. Okay. I mean,
yeah, Rob and I were talking about that because a lot of times in bookstores and libraries, they would have sci-fi and fantasy like right together as if they were the same thing when they're really not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I had no idea. I really didn't. I didn't have no idea at all because I don't, so that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Storm, Lady Reckless, is that one that you had hauled recently in one of your romance book hauls? I'm really behind on my booktube watching. Since I have vacation this week, I'm like trying to get caught up on everybody's, and I saw Storm had some book hauls and haven't had a chance to watch.
Yeah, I need to catch up on booktube. Are you guys working on any new booktube videos?
Yeah, actually during our reading sprints, I read like a chapter of my book, and then I started working on editing a video because I got distracted. So yeah, I'm going to post my July TBR. It's my next video.
Yeah. So I was kind of working on mine, but on making my notes because I batch tape on Sundays. Because otherwise there's no way to tape during the week for me because my schedule changes so much that it's hard. But I'm going to be doing because I split them up. So I'm going to be doing my cozy mystery wrap up, my romance wrap up. And then I think I'm starting a new cozy mystery spotlight.
Ooh, any hints as to what you're going to spotlight?
I think I'm going to spotlight needlepoint crafts. So knitting, crocheting, sewing, that sort of thing.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and then I think like towards the fall, I'm going to, I have a ton of other ideas, but I think because I was thinking like different professions and but I think I'm going to do like regions too, like states or something like that.
Cool. There's so much you can do.
There's so much. Yeah, there really is.
Right before the sprint, I uploaded a new video. It's the mid-year book freakout tag.
Yay! I can't wait to watch. I love watching them. I don't want to do it, but I love watching them.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tags.
Times, but oh well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Excited to watch that.
Yeah, me too, because I really, really enjoy watching them. I don't think I could make it. I like what you did, Jessica, because I watched yours. I thought that was smart. Like you broke it like your favorites. You're like, okay, here's all the genres, and then broke into. But even that, like, I'm a person like I don't really rate things that way, and like I do have all time favorites, but after that, I either like or don't like something. And if I like something, I'm like, it's great, it's fabulous, it's awesome. I don't really think of it in a rating type of system. So it's really hard for me to like, and that's with anything. I have
You
my
could always,
all-time favorites.
yeah, you could always just share for that because it's just the first question that asks you to pick like a favorite. So you could always just say whether you have a new all-time favorite or whether you don't, and then like leave it at that.
True. But I am loving watching them. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
good
excited
tag.
to watch your Beauty and the Beast book tag. That looks interesting.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed the Beauty and the Beast tag.
I'm probably gonna want to do it because I love Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite
Well,
fairy tale.
Consider
Ah.
yourself tagged because
Okay.
I love what tags are one of my favorite things to watch. I love like because I think that it really tells a lot about a person, so it's really fun and interesting to see their take on things, and it's so interesting to see like how everybody's so different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, like what could be your favorite book could be my worst, and it's
Right?
like incredible that like we're all, so I
I
don't know,
mean,
I really
yeah,
enjoy watching them.
yeah, like you and me, Tiffany. I mean, you love romance, I love fantasy, and you're not a fantasy lover, and I'm not a romance lover, yet, we're still friends. We still talk about what we like and dislike.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the end,
Definitely.
it just matters that we all love books.
That's right.
Yep. Do you have any other videos coming up, Johara, after your mid-year freakout tag?
Well, this weekend I do want to upload. It's gonna be a short video. It's just gonna be me like revealing my new book covers, and after that I don't know yet. I have like a list of potential videos to do on my phone, so I'll just look at them and see which one I'm in the mood to do next.
That makes sense. How do y'all keep track of like the videos you're gonna do? Like it sounds like you keep a list on your phone, Johara. Tiffany, do you have any specific way of planning things out?
I mean, kind of in my head, but just like the week before, like, and it's kind of just based upon the month because I always do a wrap up and I always do what's coming out. So those are going to be the end and the beginning of the months, and then and then I kind of do the fill-ins in between. So, but it just usually is picked the week of. I really like your vlogs.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really
I'm
do.
having fun with them.
Well, I'm gonna start doing some reading vlogs too. I've done some writing vlogs in the end. I currently I'm doing a Shadow and Bone reading vlog, and I'm gonna
Cool.
put it all together once I finish the trilogy. So yeah, but I have done writing vlogs in the past, and I haven't actually done one in a while. So I might do one this week or next.
Yeah, you should.
I've never attempted them more out of fear of editing them. Like I don't know how to edit videos together. You know what I mean? Like if you're only taping 3 minutes here and then you're coming back and taking 3 minutes here, I don't know how to. And I'm like, just show me how to do something and I can do it after that. But like, I can't vary if at least with technology, not necessarily with other stuff, but like technology that I don't really know a lot about. I'm like, okay, I got the basics. I'm good. So, but I eventually I need to learn how to do it because I'd like to do some vlogs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Technology's
you could find some like YouTube tutorials on whatever editing tool that you use. That's how I learned how to do it, is I just watched YouTube tutorials on how to use the editing software. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so Storm's going to try to push through book number 2. I didn't think book 2 was bad, but it was definitely like my least favorite.
Yeah. I mean, just because a book as your least favorite in the series doesn't mean you don't not like it. It's just not as good as the other ones in the series.
Yep. Okay, so the book you're reading is You. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask. Is that the Shadow and Bone? No.
On KU, no, it's her Lady Reckless is what she's talking about there.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about that now, Storm. Oh, yay!
Awesome.
I'll
Can't wait to watch it.
Lee, your bloopers made me laugh so hard, and Suri made me jump just as much as she made you jump. So I was cackling along with you. I loved it.
Hey, Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Thanks for joining us. Watch editing YouTube. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I'll have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to do another reading sprint?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
So go maybe another 30 minutes. So 2:36.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool.
Sounds good. Cheyenne, tell us what you're reading in the chat.
Yeah, do tell us.
All right, guys.
Happy reading.
I'm reading.
How'd your sprint go?
Really good. I started this time I started a new romance and it is pretty funny. Hello.
Hi, this is my brother.
Oh, hi,
I was
buddy.
reading to him a little bit.
That's awesome. What book are you guys reading?
Do you remember the title? No? Shadow and Bone? Can you say it? Shadow and Bone.
Oh, did you enjoy
Awesome.
it? Did
Do
you
you
like
like it?
it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
His name's
Pretty good.
Kal-El.
What's his name?
Kal-El.
Awesome.
There's
Thanks
Jessica
for-
and Tiffany.
Hi, buddy.
Thanks for joining us, Kal-El. I
How
have a
old
guest.
is he? How old is he?
5.
Hi.
5. Thank
good
you.
age.
I saw that. That was awesome, Kal-El. I saw that.
He's
I
a
have a
little
guest
shy.
joining us too. This is Pi.
Say
She
hi
decided
to
to join.
Oh,
Oh, she says hi.
that's a very cute kitty.
Yeah, she's my baby.
the dad.
How was your guys' sprints?
Good. I didn't get that much done because I was talking to my mom for a few, and then he decided to come by and read with me.
Awesome.
Of course.
That bill with the heart.
What?
That bill with the heart.
Oh, don't worry about it. Was the cookie good? He stole one of my cookies.
Just as a little brother should.
Exactly. Kind of the duty of the little brother. I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
just
I trained him to love reading because when my mom was pregnant with him, I read to him in her womb.
Oh.
So I groomed him to be a reader because no one in my family's a reader. So I was like, this one's going to be a reader.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's great.
Do you have any favorite books you'd like to read? Yeah? That's great.
Me too.
Yeah, we love books.
How did your sprints go?
Mine went well. I was laughing because, okay, so in my book, it's about this mummy that they find, and they're like gonna investigate it. They think it's like thousands of years old, but it turns out that it's not thousands of years old, and it's actually someone was murdered and they made the person into a mummy. But anyway, they're doing like the medical examination, and there was a line in here that just made me laugh so hard. So they're trying to unwrap the mummy, and one of the characters says she looks like a human tamale. I just thought that was hilarious. So yeah, it's going well.
Good.
That's good.
Oh, Cheyenne's reading Anna Karenina. Awesome.
Have you
I'm-
guys go ahead?
Oh, I was just going to say I want to read that one this year too.
I was going to ask, have you guys seen that there is a retelling of Anna Karenina out right now?
No.
That's told. Hold on, I'll look it up.
I don't even know what that is.
What happened to that fan? Did you break it?
It's not broken. It's just not plugged in.
How do you plug it in anyway?
I put the cord into a plug-in, like this one,
Oh,
like that.
so this one.
Or there's one over there too, and
there?
over there.
Johara Lee wants to know if Kal-El was named for Superman.
He was actually. My mom's a huge Superman fan.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool.
So she's always wanted to name a son Superman, but you know, she had 5 girls before she had a son, so it took a little time.
Well, that
That
just
is
makes them
really
extra
cool.
special. Ooh, yogurt and bananas. Good.
Nice. That sounds good. So the retelling is called Anna Kay. Hold on.
Oh,
And it's by Jenny Lee.
okay. I think I've seen that floating around various booktube channels.
Yeah, it came out very recently.
Do you want another cookie?
So anyways, and then I think that there's a sequel that just came out like
Yeah.
very,
looking
very
it up.
recently.
So Anna Kay came out in 2020
In the kitchen.
And then a new one came out like
this year.
This is a little bit big.
Yeah, it's a big cookie.
I can't
It's
think of
bigger
what
than
it-
your hand.
I can't think of what it's called, but I
No,
saw it.
my hand's bigger than it. My hand's like right here.
Oh, okay.
It's a
It is a
big.
pretty big cookie.
He also loves to help me write on my books. I call him my junior writer.
Excellent.
Very cool.
That's a cool job to have, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
I told him he would make a great writer because he always tells these little stories, and the way he tells them, it's just so adorable.
That's awesome. And I want to go to Johara's house and eat cookies and read books and
Right?
write.
Come on, Bud. The door's always open.
That's sounds like a pretty good time there.
Yeah. Storm knows someone who has a son named Kal-El, and father was a huge Superman fan. So very cool.
It's not just you.
Oh wow, Cheyenne, that's awesome.
7 copies.
Oh, wow.
You keep them like different places in your house, so when it's time to read, you just pick it up wherever you are.
I could never do that. You know, I know some people who have more than one copy because they want to have this like special edition. But me, it's like, I'm okay with having one copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I mean, I don't know, but like a lot of booktubers do it, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do it.
And you mostly read like audiobooks anyway, so you know.
Yeah, but even when I did, so I started doing audio solely maybe about a year ago, but when I was doing all like physical before that, I mean, I didn't even really buy hardbacks, let alone like all these editions. I just
Some of them are collectibles. Ooh, awesome.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
800 books and you collect books. That's cool.
That's
I mean,
really cool.
I do really like a nice leather bound book. And if it's like a book that I love, I will buy like a nice edition and then unhaul like the cheeky paperback version. So I do just have one copy of book, but I do really like a beautiful book. Most of them are secondhand and thrifted. Yeah. That's how I usually buy mine too. Oldest ones are from the 1850s. Wow.
That is really cool, guys.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rearrange my bookshelves. I just don't know how I want to organize them yet. I asked on Twitter if anyone had any suggestions, and so we'll see.
I know a lot of people do it by color.
I've
And
seen
it
that.
looks
But I don't
really
think that would
pretty.
work. I don't think that would work unless you read mostly standalones. You know, because different series might be different colors.
Right.
And some
Yeah.
people do it by size apparently too.
Yeah.
Maybe you could
I
help
like-
me reorganize it. How does that sound? Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
As long as cookies are involved, I think you're good.
Yep.
Yeah, cookies could be involved. We'll just snack on cookies. How does that sound? Good. Good.
Nice. I like play Tetris with my bookshelves because I'm just trying to get as many to fit on a shelf as I possibly can so I don't have to buy them. So it's like a game of Tetris. I don't really have a specific order or organizational system. Running out of room, stack them on the floor. Ooh, yeah, you don't want your bunny to eat your very special old books. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a bummer.
Oh wow, Cheryl collects books about the Titanic. My boyfriend is obsessed with books about the Titanic. He recently went on like a spending spree buying a bunch of books about the Titanic. So he would love to see that collection.
I have over 100 fiction and nonfiction books about the Titanic. Wow.
Wow. Watch out, my laptop's there.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that either, Storm.
I have to have my series together and in order.
Yep, so do I. Few big categories. Ray Bradbury, Heritage Press Editions, books illustrated by Fritz Eichenberg. Very cool.
And I feel like if I did it by color or size, it would be hard to find where any of my books are, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are you doing? She's a goofball.
No, she is.
You are.
No, you are. Oh.
Ignore him.
No, let me go. No. No, not me.
What are you taking over this fridge?
Yes. It's not the old soap.
Apparently he's taking over this fridge.
Take smack,
Oh,
smack your old
who's the note taker?
Smack your old stove.
Oh, yeah. That's
Nice.
how I think I would do it. If I ever actually organize bookshelves, I think I would do alphabetical order and genre.
I used to do alphabetical order by the author's name, but I want to try something different.
Yeah, that's how
I can't-
libraries do it.
Yeah, I don't do genre because, as you guys know, I mostly read fantasy, so most of what I own is fantasy.
Yeah, the only split that I have is like I have fiction and nonfiction on different shelves, but that's the only split that I really do.
Get off the bed. Get off the
A lot of snacks. Oh, cool. That sounds really cool.
Some of the booktubers, Cheyenne, do you have a booktube channel? I'm just wondering, but some of the booktubers' shelves are so impressive, and the stuff that they have on them, I mean, they just look amazing.
Yeah, they really do.
I think he's trying to take over my channel.
Get out of here.
Is it your channel now?
Yes.
Genre order. You should do a video about it, Storm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we can convince you to start a channel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You should totally do that.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
it definitely is.
And if you have 800 books, you have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You really do. And I bet you would find a lot of people that have some of the same collections that you have and could chat about those.
Why do you keep a lot of stapling tabs?
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have like a link or anything to your bookstore?
Nice.
Yeah. Let us know.
Kind of in the process. Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to totally keep us updated because we would love to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
And the vintage bookstore thing, we'd love to know about too. I definitely have people that would be interested in that.
Yes. Have an Etsy. What is your Etsy? Is it just Cheyenne K? Yeah, see, you've already got like 5 people who would follow your channel. So
There you go.
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
Book
Etsy
on
store is
holiday.
Book
That's
on
cute.
Holiday. I will put
I'm
that
looking
in
at-
the video description.
I'm going to Etsy now.
I haven't really been on Etsy before.
Oh my gosh. I ordered the cutest pair of St. Louis Blues shoes. on Etsy. They're adorable. They look like Converse. They're like the Blues color blue, so like a royal blue Converse, and then they have the Blues emblem and it says St. Louis Blues, and then they have like blue and yellow laces. They're adorable.
Nice.
Nice.
You got Kairu's bow tie there too, right?
I did, yep. All of the ties I bought have been on Etsy.
Oh, that's okay. We'll
What
just
is
have to follow it as you list stuff. So Books on Holiday. Wait, no, where'd it go? There it is. Books on Holiday.
You hurt me. No hurting a boy.
I did find you. Is there a way to save this person?
I think you can save it as a favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hearted it, so I don't know if it'll keep that. Awesome.
Stormy has a collection. That's cool.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so if you have any vintage copies of To Kill a Mockingbird, share.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
You could do plenty of unhauls.
You could.
Yeah.
Lots of unhaul videos or like videos sharing what you have stocked on your website available because you know people would buy it.
You could have people vote on the copy to keep, and then you could like sell the
Ooh.
other copies or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or donate them somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I always have to get going usually around the top of the hour, so
Yeah.
I don't want to keep y'all here. You have other things to do. Sounds like you and Kellel have a fun night planned.
All right, guys. Well, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. We'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.